Can you tell us what happened to you?
My car was down there. It rolled over. I think this was because of the glass. The glass cut me up, and my car was like that.
I don't know what happened. I was fishing, I heard that there was a fire, I turned and started to head home, and I heard something explode. And then this happened. I got injured. That's all I know.
Joining us on the phone now is France 24's Nadia Massi. Nadia, you were a former correspondent in the Lebanese capital. No doubt your heart and mind are in Beirut tonight. What's the latest you're hearing?
Yeah, Wasim, I think the most important thing to emphasize right now is just the sheer scale of the destruction in Beirut today. This is an explosion that took place at Beirut port, but it appears to have shaken pretty much every part of the city from east to west. I was talking to somebody a short while ago in Hamra, in the west of the city. They're saying their entire apartment block appears to be no longer functioning. Talking to somebody on the other side of the city, in the east of Beirut, quite far away from the port where that explosion took place, saying the entire facade of their building had come in. That place also no longer safe for people to live in. Hospitals absolutely overwhelmed tonight. Several hospitals, St. George Hospital in Jaytawi, one of them, that don't have electricity at the moment. I've seen some images on social media of doctors treating patients in the car park of hospitals because the situation inside is so bad. As you said, there's a call for blood, urgently needed blood donations in some hospitals as well. And, these images this is footage we simply haven't seen in Beirut since the civil war. Entire streets destroyed, windows knocked out on almost every floor of buildings. I think it is really hard tonight to emphasize just how serious this is. And I imagine there are very few families, very few communities in the city that have been untouched by what's taken place.
Nadia, we were speaking earlier on the phone. You told me how significant it was that this explosion happened at the city's harbor and how much of an important role it plays in not only Beirut's economy, but the entire country's economy.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. Beirut port is crucial. Lebanon imports lots of its food, lots of its wheat products, and lots of its meat by boat. The port in Beirut has been decimated. You will not be able to import food by boat to that port for a very long time. Certainly not in the coming days. And this really couldn't come at a more difficult moment for Lebanon. Lebanon is in the throes of a massive financial crisis. Its local currency, the lira, is losing value against the dollar almost every day. Food prices are rising. People who consider themselves middle class are struggling to feed their families. A few weeks ago, the Lebanese army said they couldn't afford to feed their soldiers meat anymore because meat was becoming so expensive. So it really just feels like this is a real kick at the time where Lebanon absolutely doesn't need it. It's going to be very difficult, I think, to import food, to import basic medicines as well in the coming days, with the port clearly absolutely out of service for the moment.
Does this sort of beg the question of how Lebanese people will be able even to feed themselves, maybe not in the next 24, 48, 72 hours, but maybe in the days and weeks to come?
Well, look, Wasim, there were already questions before this absolutely catastrophic incident today about how poor Lebanese families were going to feed themselves in the coming weeks and months because of the scale of the economic crisis there. It's clear that this is going to make those questions even more difficult. The Lebanese government is going to need to respond to this far more efficiently than they have done with previous crises in the past couple of years. But I also think Lebanon is going to need real international support now. We've heard words offering support from the United States, from the UK, even from Israel, as I understand it. But I think Lebanon is going to need material support now. It's going to need financial support. Otherwise, it's going to be a very difficult rest of the summer, and I suspect a very difficult winter as well for many Lebanese families.
All right, First 24's Nadia Massi reporting there on the phone for us. Thank you very much.